if this robots that text would not block them off, they could even continuously crawl, right? They could continuously crawl today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. So they would even see that developing stuff, that data ownership Amazon has today about, like who's searching for what is sold, and what frequency, speed, whatsoever.
Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Marketplace. A new year and a new hair color and some new lighting as well, because I got a Christmas present with a nice ring light for my podcast. So, but it's still your old host. I'm Ingrid. Great to have you back. And look who else is back. It's Malte Karstan, my favorite Amazon expert. Good to have you in the show again, Malte. How have you been? That's good.
I'm still there, yeah. You
Good
look
news
surprised. So it's me. Yeah, nice to be back. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, great. Yeah, if you've been following our podcast for a while, you already know that I always invite Malte to join me when there is Amazon to be discussed. And yeah, he's been here, I think, 3 times before, Malte. Yeah, something like that. So I will cut the longer introductions and just say he's one of the best and insightful experts on the Amazon universe in Europe. I know, and you should definitely follow him on LinkedIn. Let's keep it at that. Yeah, and of course, I want to talk about Amazon today as well. This is why you're here, Malte. And normally I'd ask him to, give us the latest gossip from some Amazon headquarters he's been regularly visiting. But for today, I have something special in mind because it's the first episode of the new year. So I thought we can be a little bit bold and a bit controversial and maybe debate a feeling that has crept up on me over the last month whenever I was doing research on AI and agentic commerce. Yeah, and that feeling basically boils down to Amazon is losing the AI game. So this is what I put to Malte, and he was not convinced, I think, from my thesis, and so I thought we could have a nice discussion on it. So shall we do it in the proper discussion way, Malte? I will present my case and you can answer.
Perfect.
Good. Because I think, because as I say, I've been doing research, and there's Microsoft with the OpenAI Halo, and there's Google with Gemini, and there's, of course, Perplexity doing things, lots and lots of things in the agentic commerce universe, and then there's Amazon, and I don't see what they are doing in this agentic commerce era, apart from Rufus, which is their own AI, and apart from what I read, shutting out agentic commerce agents from their platform. So OpenAI and their colleagues are not allowed to buy on Amazon for now. So yeah, I think they're not doing enough and they're losing it. What would you say, Malte?
I hope we have enough time.
Yes.
That's indeed a bold thing, right? That's a general thing. That's the question, like what you would do, or we come from maybe a different perspective. We say, okay, what's the status quo today in terms of agentic AI, in terms of AI, right? On the one hand, it's already, let's say it from an Amazon perspective, it's already dangerous, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you would open up your platform to AI, we're not talking about agentic AI. Let's open it up to AI. They would be able to crawl, let's say, at least status quo within days. Some say within weeks. So everything you have built up in terms of listings, reviews, everything that makes Amazon would be, let's say, an open book to everyone, to that particular company, like the Google bot is doing it, the Perplexity bot, or whatsoever. Whoever is doing it would have everything. Even more dangerous would be if someone, if this robots.txt, like this doorkeeper of Amazon, right? That's blocking off all those agentic AIs and AI solutions. If this robots.txt would not block them off, they could even continuously crawl, right? They could continuously crawl today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. So they would even see that developing stuff, that data ownership Amazon has today about, like who is searching for what is sold, and what frequency, speed, whatsoever, yeah? How are reviews developing, which items are trending, all that. That's why Amazon is definitely purposely, and from my perspective, correctly, blocking everything off. That's agentic AI and what's AI. That's today. And that's the only solution for today. Otherwise, you would make yourself redundant within a short period of time. Yeah, some say, as I said, agentic AI would need days, some say weeks to get everything out of Amazon that's existing in terms of data.
So the disruptor is afraid of the disruptors?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, you have to preserve what you got, right? I mean, it's that magic 5, right? It's those 5 steps, right? Oh, I have to take the tone off here. It's those magic 5 steps that are, let's say, worth defending, right? It's this. Maybe you've heard this in commerce, right? It's this intent capture. It's the first step. Option construction. Let's say in the first step, what is the customer searching? In the second step, what am I showing to the customer? Yeah. Option construction. In the third step, what am I really showing to the customer? Let's say this decision logic. And then it's transaction execution and all that data aftermath. That 5 steps. Amazon is saying we definitely want to own in future the last 3 steps. But this is not working with agentic AI. Agentic AI basically is designed to move some steps out of the platform.
Yeah.
What are you searching for? Only the AI knows the prompt. What am I showing to the customer? Agentic AI is doing it. They're picking from all across the web, from everywhere, and are showing to the customer something. And even the top pick, the third step, what is the best choice for you, right? I mean, this is very powerful if an AI is doing it. In future, even the AI is checking out itself. It's not the customer. Buy me the best thing, the best batteries or something. I don't need to be involved in the first 3 steps, right? That would mean that agentic AI in future is moving from the 5 important steps in commerce 3 steps out of the platforms. Worst case scenario for Amazon. Agentic AI does not want to be involved in step 4, right? Or this execution, shipping, all that
The
stuff.
messy stuff. Yeah.
Can remain with the platforms whatsoever, right? Step 5 is becoming interesting once again, is all the data ownership, right? Or that let's call it they call it data exhaust, but it's all that. What do I learn from that, right? Customer bought this, like this item got sold. There are so many informations in that process. This is indeed something agentic AI would also somehow own, right? I mean, they know that this particular customer bought this and when and why and purpose and season and all that and so on. So that means if Amazon would now say, we come to the point like Shopify and Walmart, they say, be my guest. I mean, agentic AI is at least driving some sort of traffic here. I mean, the sales, not traffic. Yeah, we have to differentiate here.
But turnover.
Turnover. And Walmart says, if agentic AI is today offering options, step 2, to a customer, and Amazon is not involved in those options because Amazon is saying, no, not this time. Walmart says,
Win for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take it.
Great opportunity. Yeah. I mean, Walmart has to open up things a little bit aggressively. I mean, let's come to that. My conclusion in that first part here is, it's, from my perspective, some sort of showing force what Amazon is doing. They are saying no, while Shopify and Walmart and others, you know that Etsy and blah, blah, blah and so on, while other platforms, solutions are saying, okay, we are totally fine with a future scenario in which we are just step 4, we are the shippers. We are the executional stuff. We are the checkout platform where things are, let's say, pick, pack, ship, checked out, right? So that's basically from my perspective. But Amazon is saying, and we can move forward to the point why I think it's about showing force here. They say, no, we are not fine with a scenario where we only own one of the 5 steps in future. We want more.
Yeah, well, I can get that from their perspective. While you were talking, I was just having this strange sense of déjà vu, because I'm from an industry that has been disrupted a few years ago in journalism. Yeah, so and the things that publishing houses used to do when Google came up and started crawling their news websites, they tried the same thing as Amazon is trying now, and as we know now, in vain. It's really hard to stem against the tsunami of a real disruption as it's happening at the moment. So, okay, I get that you are saying Amazon is buying themselves a bit of time in a way. Yeah, they're closing the borders so that they can have time to do a counter strategy. The question is just, why aren't they there yet? I mean, what is Amazon doing in terms of agentic commerce themselves?
Yeah, I mean, okay, there are 2 important things in there, right? Your first question, let's say, or your first standpoint is they're buying time, and that's true. Question would be, what are they buying time for?
Yes.
I mean, we can maybe start with this maybe, right? So that's a valid question, right? What the heck? What are they buying time for? I mean, what are the possible scenarios? Scenario A is agentic AI is becoming the main customer intake layer, let's say, for e-commerce, for commerce going forward, like browsers back in the days, right? That could be scenario A. Scenario B could be, I mean, that's going away. It's not working. I don't know, regulatory pressure.
Yeah, that worked really well with the internet, you know?
Yeah, and also with the browser,
Bad
right?
idea.
Yes. That's nothing for the future, they said. Basically, so let's imagine, or let's be pretty precise, somehow different intake scenarios, voice, device, whatsoever. Let's assume agentic AI is powerful and is going to be the main consumer layer, let's say, going forward. If this is the case, what does that mean for Amazon? What would that mean for Amazon? That would definitely mean, okay, take step 4 and go, right? And be happy that you preserve something at least. Amazon is saying, okay, we have 300 million customers. We are too big. We are too big to simply say, like the others, to simply say, we are satisfied with one of the 5. What would that mean? I mean, giving away step 2 would mean you're killing your entire ads business. Because all that, what is shown, what is decided in the background, what is shown in
moves
the,
away from the platform.
let's say, in the search results, let's say in step 3 to the customer, is defined partially by ads. Yeah, it's a portion of the best picks, let's say the best choice anyways, but also who paid the most for to be a top pick today for this customer, right?
Which is why this is such an important topic for Amazon, because it's a huge part of their turnover.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, that's one of the 2 parts, I think, where they're earning money.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
And
AWS
growing
and
exponentially
ads.
still. Yeah.
So would you, if you would be Amazon, would you now say, yeah, step 4 is okay. Let's kill the ads business going forward purposely. No one would say that. At least you have to stem against that. The other thing is, and that was your second question, why is Amazon not aggressively leaning into that agentic AI thing? The problem is they can't. I mean, they can't really, right? If Amazon would create now, I mean, this would be the logic. If Amazon would create now an agentic AI bot, and they would call it Selters Medium. Here, my drink here, yeah? And they would call it Selters Medium. So this is the new it's an app, and it's cool and handsome shape and blah blah and something. And I would say, oh, I'm using it. It's from Amazon. It takes, let's say it like this, Ingrid, pretty open. It takes 1 day until the first forums are yelling, yeah, regardless what I'm searching for, it's always Amazon item and top pick.
Oh, go figure.
Oh.
Well, we had that happened with Alexa in a way, didn't it? I mean, we had this nice Alexa bots, and everyone was going like, yeah, voice commerce is coming. And then in the end, it only stayed a device that you can ask to play your playlist. And no one's really using it for shopping. So voice shopping didn't really happen.
Plus now. But that's coming with Alexa Plus now. I mean, that took too long. I mean, those Alexa guys, I don't know what happened in there. I mean, that's one of those stories that really took too long. I saw those guys in the keynote in Seattle. But basically, that really took too long. Let's put that to the side. Alexa Plus, we can talk about this because this is really also changing things. But no one is as astonished as in this agentic AI case that Alexa is, of course, directing you all the time into Amazon. Yeah, it's done some sort of an intake device, regardless it's voice or whatsoever. It's an intake device for your platform. And basically, if you break all that down, all the strategy, all the time buying, all that we want more than just this and so on, it should remind all of you guys of the Apple scenario. It's basically the Apple world. It's those iPhones, it's that iTunes, is that, like Apple App Store blocking someone until he's willing to pay. And that's exactly where Amazon is. I mean, you can put this Amazon strategy over the Apple strategy and you will soon find out it's overlapping. I don't want to say 100%, but it's pretty much overlapping. And what Amazon wants now is buying some time until the API framework is ready to go, capable of. You have maybe witnessed, and you don't believe in by chance scenarios like I do. Amazon introduced the API fees 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, I don't know. It's pretty recent. So everything is prepared. The field is prepared for announcing to the AI bots, AI whatsoever, agentic AIs and whatsoever, hey, I've reconsidered everything. You are invited to join the party and send customers here, but using my AI API framework, not in a crawling way, like aggressively, uncontrolled crawling whatever they want, but in a controlled way. It will still be limited. I mean, this robots.txt thing, right, that's determining everything, will still limit, right? They are not allowed to... The APIs, I mean, if you know APIs, right, they're pretty much straightforward, funneled, and exactly defining what you can get, right? One API call gives you that, and one API... It's not like that I'm saying, okay, when I'm already here, I'm taking all the reviews out of the Amazon platform, right? And if it's monetized, great, right? I mean, API costs something, bots are firing like crazy. I mean, that's a money machine for Amazon as well, and it's under control, and that's the most important thing. So,
well, and it's basically just destroying the agentic commerce idea here, because I mean, if my ChatGPT bot has to pay for every time they ping the Amazon API for my requests, that is not going to be a nice business model for OpenAI, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question, right? I mean, the question is whether you can... I mean, when is the point in time, and that's maybe also about this time buying, when is the point in time where an AI, as an LLM in the background, is saying, sorry, mother, to OpenAI, sorry, mother, I'm doing my job here. Basically, I'm recommending to the users permanently things, but I have the impression that I'm not presenting every time, all the time, the best possible stuff, because behind the mountain range, there is someone who has Prime, that's obviously the most efficient, fastest, most reliable something in terms of supply chain, end-to-end, last mile, and so on. And there's someone who has a huge catalog, there's someone, in terms of trust and all that, and so on. There is the point in time, definitely, Amazon is hoping that, it worked for Apple, right? I mean, imagine in the beginning, everyone was saying, hey, here, no way. Yeah, like I have all the music here in my Napster or something. I don't want to have it once again in my iTunes and blah. And then Apple simply blocked off. Own formats, not compatible, not working, you could not import, export music. It was all like stuck in this environment. But then Apple was, like firing more and more devices, more and more options, more and more things, and then it was all harmonized, and then changing to Android, difficult, and then my music. And so this is a little bit in terms of forced power, regulatory demand. Yeah, that's weakened a little bit. Yeah, Amazon, Apple had to, like make everything a little bit synchronizable. Yeah, now you can exchange music and you can order different formats and everything. But the initial idea was bold, and they really came from a small size, being that bold, right? Amazon is already huge, and that's why, from my perspective, it's fully correct. Amazon is saying, I want more.
That's a really interesting point that you're raising, yeah? Saying that Apple solely relied on the power of their brand when they created this walled garden. And they said, you want my phones? Well, you have to take all this walled garden stuff with it, because otherwise I won't give it to you. And now you're saying that Amazon is basically not going for the brand, but this is the Amazon convenience that you will have nowhere else. Yeah, you will have Prime and music and video and everything in one piece. And if you want that, you have to stay with me. So that's an interesting thing that you're raising here. I see one problem with this. Over half of the turnover on Amazon is created through the marketplace and by marketplace retailers, by third-party retailers. And those retailers most of them don't solely sell on Amazon. So what is stopping the AI from just crawling all those Shopify shops out there, all those small shops, all those other marketplaces where those retailers might put their products out, and then give the users the products that they are searching for, but not on Amazon?
Okay, let's wind a little bit back. Right? Let's go a little bit back in time. Today we have Amazon, we have other marketplaces, and we have D2C, let's say Shopify as an example, right? So they all started somewhere, somehow. And today we have a certain landscape in the US, in Europe, Asia, Africa, coming, yeah. South America, yeah. But I think, let's say at least Europe and North America, bold. Amazon is bold. Amazon is owning it, yeah. If you can say whatever you want. Walmart e-commerce 6% in the US, and Amazon convenient 2-digit, close to the 50, all around, humbling around the 50 somehow. So. That's ownership. It came somehow to that point today. Why? Because customer decided so. It's not someone forced them. Customer decided so. Why? Because it's convenient. Because it's few clicks. If I use agentic AI, me personally, and this agentic AI would all the time lead me for the checkout with the recommendation to a new web shop somewhere in Bulgaria this time, and say, you save 10 cents. I would say, but okay, agentic AI, let me define some preferences here. Yeah, let me define, some preference framework, personalization. Yeah, like Amazon also has a personalization AI. We can come to the internal Amazon AI tools in a moment. So, and this would, me personally, I would definitely define. When I look into China, and we talked about this exactly last time, I think. Yeah, China, where 90% is marketplaces and 10% is D2C. That's customer perspective, and that's coming from the customer. And agentic AI, from my perspective, won't change the number of clicks required when checking out all the time into new platforms and into new whatsoever landscapes. And that's the problem. This is not solved by agentic AI. It's maybe solved, and that's of course what Etsy knew. That's of course what Shopify knew.
Yeah.
They said, we make it that easy that agentic AI will even be able to check out itself. Because they knew that's the main blocker. That's why we are in position 5, 8, I don't know, in the ranking, because we are not convenient enough compared to Amazon, and they're trying to solve it. Walmart as well in the US, they're trying to solve it.
Yeah, and OpenAI working with the likes of Stripe and so on to make all the checkout process easy, to make the payment process easy. And then, well, I don't know, do you really need Amazon and all that convenience for that?
Yeah, I mean,
if AI is shopping for you.
If they're making it to close that gap, to make it really convenient, or the same, like neutral, it doesn't matter for you if you type prompt into an agentic AI and they're checking out. That doesn't matter for you. Let's see, right? I mean, let's see from a trust perspective and how stiff the AI, or let's say the trust advance of Amazon might hold, whether it's enough to bring those agentic AI bots, force them into the situation that they need to use the API. I'm not 100% sure about cost perspective. Yeah, you said this as a major blocker. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, for Amazon, it's mainly about control, I think.
Yeah.
So let's say you are invited, but you have to use this door and only this door, like we agree on. And of course, it's an issue because, for example, the Google bot, the Google AI is partially allowed. For example, if you look into the robots.txt,
yes,
and because it's not only, let's say, it's also bringing traffic, right?
Yeah.
So the problem with an agentic AI is it's not bringing any traffic. I mean, it's bringing one sale, let's say, for example, right? Or it's looking for opportunities, not bringing any traffic, not bringing any customer, let's say.
And no information about the customer either.
Yeah,
So,
it's totally, it's black boxing someone. Someone is running into and running out seconds later, and I don't know what this was good for. And with API, you can track everything, you know what's going on. It's also limited, right? I mean, in terms of the 5 steps we talked about in the beginning, I mean, I think Amazon has written off this first step somehow, looking into the future. That's also why, and you asked it, that's also why Amazon, let's say, or obviously, from my perspective, my personal opinion, Alexa took so long because Alexa and now Alexa Plus is part of this first step, basically, like Rufus. Yeah. So they both are part of this first part of this commerce 5-fold, like important journey description. So, and they are not so confident that they will in future really
hold on to that first step.
So that's why it's a little bit.
And so, like Alexa Plus might be downgraded a bit in the priority. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's why, and also Rufus, I mean, came late, and it's
and it's more meh.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not really doing anything helpful most of the time. So
yeah, I mean, it's collecting what's there, and it's not much smarter than I would be reading 10 reviews and then combining it to an opinion, or to a recommendation or whatsoever. So let's see. But that definitely does not fit to Amazon's internal AI framework as such, because that's really, really sophisticated, right? So the question is, why 2, let's say, outbound facing, customer facing, let's say, solutions like Alexa and Rufus are so basic, let's say. That's not really explaining it, right? I mean, sellers are facing this Emilia thing, right? That's doing a lot regarding sellers, and we talked about this, I think, last time, and this is also pretty much involved in this journey, yeah. Also in this order decision journey, let's say, Emilia is in many points pretty much involved, and you have same. Amazon does not want that the Amazon staff is doing AI jobs outside of the Amazon world, right? I mean, that would be stupid. Yeah, you block everything off, and then all the Amazon guys are working in ChatGPT. Please help me to write my something for tomorrow, or coding or something. They have Cairo.
Yeah.
Amazon has Cairo for the coding. Yeah, and it's really emphasizing, if not pushing, the Amazon staff to use only this internal one, and not all
And
the
laying off staff because of that as well.
yeah. So that's crazy, right? But it makes totally sense. I mean, that makes total sense. And all this Amazon Q umbrella landscape, where all those tools are underneath, it's also a pretty Amazon stuff is sometimes saying, yeah, it's not so convenient from an, like user-friendly UX perspective, and something external tools I worked previously with are a little bit more convenient. But all those Amazon tools are really, really customized for the Amazon purpose. Really, that's really, like on point. It's not working for X, Y, Z. It's working for Amazon, for the Amazon purpose and the tasks you have to do in the Amazon environment. And that's, I'm always astonished how secure, and from a stabilization perspective, how secure Amazon is indeed, right? I mean, you've heard recently, Shopify down, and the Booking.com leak, and everything, like big platforms, right? When was Amazon down the last time? Years ago? I remember I was still a seller, and it was going crazy. It was around Christmas, right? So that's incredible. And that's also part of that journey, right? That's also everything thought through. You have to use A, B, C, D, and C, all the different tools, right? You are not allowed to use external tools. Makes totally sense. That's a security layer, and that's a security measure. And for me, it makes total sense.
Interesting. So if you're saying that Amazon is now going for this walled garden policy regarding AI, what does that do to the likes of OpenAI, Perplexity, Gemini? So how can they, or might they react to that? Because as I agree with you, I think if you really want to get if you really want to crack agentic commerce, you can't do it without the inventory that is at the moment stored in Amazon. So they will have to react in some way to that. On the other hand, I have a feeling that all of these AI platforms are at the moment really pushing for agentic commerce and all the financial backup that comes with it. So they really need to get stuff working. That's what I feel. So are they having more pressure than Amazon is doing to make this work?
It's a little bit like you said in the beginning. I mean, you have heard maybe yesterday this Shopify Temu new collaboration. So everything around Amazon is now huddling, of course. It's now, like moving together, and
Shopify sort of, I don't know.
Shopify is trying to create a relevance, convincing the agentic AI companies, you don't need Amazon. Look here, we are all friends.
We've got it.
Yeah. If Amazon is 50%, we are also 50%. But, to be very clear, agentic AI won't fly without Amazon in certain territories, in certain environments. Yeah, it's not a topic in China,
Asia.
It's not a topic maybe in South America. So there are different regions definitely where it would work without Amazon. So it's maybe not a global perspective here, but I could also imagine, we can talk about that next time, I can also imagine in China it's not that much different, right? I mean, all those Chinese platforms, they're also not saying, "Hey guys, come on in, crawl a little bit around here in Alibaba or Taobao or something." That's pretty clear. I mean, the agentic AI guys, they know that they are facing restrictions going forward from certain platforms that have a certain power level. That's clear. And in the end, you are missing out on certain important players globally. So they need a solution for that. Agentic AI, and that's vice versa. Amazon will not create an agentic AI bot that's then only recommending Amazon, and that's crazy.
Doesn't make sense.
And that would take half a year, and then EU Commission would say, here you have to let in everyone, and that needs to be democratized and blah blah and something. So it's even not worth thinking about creating your own agentic AI thing. In some ways, they're doing this with Alexa and then a Rufus intake and so on, okay-ish. But then they will definitely call it different, to avoid this enforced situation going forward. This is my tool, and that's it. So, but agentic AI, guys, it's a little bit like you said at the beginning with those publishing houses and all that stuff, right? The problem back then was, Google was able to this library thing was called, right? Google Library or something. They were able to crawl, let's say, scrape
basically everything.
their own, in certain territories. And that was still, once again, this globalization problem, right? Not allowed in Germany, but you can take the same book over the border to Slovakia, and then you simply do your stuff.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. I mean, this was putting pressure simply from Google. And then also some houses, I think, in this environment, I don't know who was first, but US guys, I think, they then simply left the army, left the party, and said, okay, we are collaborating, right? They're paying something, and I need the money, so
and then they can have our content.
Yeah, it's coming anyways, they thought, or something. And then, if you were then in Europe, in Germany, sitting as the last resort, that makes no sense, right? So, and this is, I think, a similar situation here. One agentic AI bot company, they are acting as users when approaching Amazon, right? They're called then users, so to say. One user will definitely try to get permission to enter Amazon, circumventing this robots.txt by saying, okay, I will use your API. One will start the game once again. Let it be Anthropic, where Amazon is invested. Maybe. So one will start. Customers will think, I have the most convenient recommendation experience when using this bot, because obviously there's everything. I can still use my Amazon app, like controlling my order flow, whatsoever. I'm collecting points, blah, blah, blah. What Amazon's all doing now. You can now collect, what is it, miles and more and something. So Amazon is, like loyalty programs, and Amazon is, like
they're building it up all the time.
So just one needs to start, and customers will come to the conclusion that there is the most complete recommendation set with this particular agentic AI bot. Then the second falls, the third, and one day later, somehow, the last one. I think this is a matter of time. This is what Amazon is buying time for. Until Amazon is like dressing the bride, more and more and more, doing everything, let's say, what's attracting customers. Also, agentic AI. I've read would be nice. I've read some sort of a paper regarding agentic AI trying to understand Prime and, like the impact and for customers and for the order journey and trust and everything, and something was very interesting. And this is what's actually going on. Coming back to the very beginning, there's a lot to defend from a size and dimension
absolutely.
perspective. There is one AI bot breaching this Amazon system. Could be the end. Some days not detected, a new AI bot created. I mean, this is a war, right? I mean, this is a war behind the scenes. The guys who are updating this robots.txt thing, let's say, the security guys who are checking permanently who is approaching our site. Is there something that looks technical, that looks not human, right? And it's really important to say that humans will always be able to enter the site even with pages that contain AI. Let's say if you're coming from a browser that has the Copilot AI feature in there, Amazon is receiving mixed signals when this human being is coming, and they might throw in some sort of a captcha or something, right? Are you human or so? But they still will let them in. So it's also defined in this robots.txt, like even if something is AI related but looks human, we'll let this in. But maybe control it a little or check this a little bit, enter a checkpoint into the journey. So this is definitely, from an Amazon perspective, my personal opinion, it's not smart, it's not clever. From my perspective, it's the only way to go. To replicate now this Apple thing. That's, from my perspective, what they're doing. And it's a matter of survival, right? It's a matter of relevance. This is always the fallback thing. The bare minimum scenario is Amazon is maybe the biggest executional logistics facility in the world in some days. If they are failing, that's the bare minimum.
Then that would be the strategy. But as you said before, they are not earning their money with their logistics. They're earning their money with their ads and and AWS, of course, which won't be affected by all of what you've been talking about today. But still, that is, interesting times, isn't it? There's such a lot going on, and I take your points. There's very good points that you're making with the walled garden approach. I'm not fully convinced that this will work in the end. But what I have to say regarding my déjà vu with the publishing houses, the one thing that is different to that situation, and that is a big thing, is that when Google came along and tagged the publishing houses, they were much more pressed for money and resources than Amazon is now. So Amazon, I think, has a long... can hold out quite long against those bots coming up. And I don't know if the bots can hold up as long because, as I said, I feel some financial pressure there coming along. Yeah, but anyway, Malte, I think I have to close down now because we're all way over our time. But that was a very interesting discussion. Thank you very much for joining me today. And yes, I think we have to revisit this one in maybe half a year or something and see how our ideas from today played out in the future. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me, and thank you out there for listening to us. And do let us know what you think about this and where you think our dear e-commerce is heading, and where agentic commerce is heading with Amazon or not. And make sure to come back to us next week and listen and follow and like us on Spotify, Apple, wherever. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.